technologies and different coding design practice that can make site more usable for people with usual mobility, auditory and cognitive disabilities. So it is having the many advanced technologies. Using those, it is possible to design the web accessibility with the advanced assistive technologies, so that everybody can make use of the web pages or the view or the what we can call the presentation of that particular page can be viewed uniformly. So in order to improve the accessibility of the website, so W3C created the Web Accessibility Initiative. Web Accessibility Initiative. What is this web? This is given by W3C. So what is this? WAI indicates they have designed set of guidelines. So when you are designing the web pages, you have to consider all these guidelines so that it is possible to make web accessibility easier. So what are those guidelines? We'll just go through those guidelines one by one. So web content accessibility guidelines. So here the provides text alternatives for any non-text content so that it can be changed into other forms people need, such as large print, braille, speech, okay, simpler language. Okay, so this is just an alternative way of representing the information. So the one simple example I can give. So with respect to image, okay, with respect to image, sometimes if it is unable to load on the web page, we have an attribute called ALT, alternate. Okay, so it is going to display the text instead of the image. So like that, you have to go with some alternative mechanism so that it can be accessed easily. Okay, so this is with respect to the non-text. That means other than the text, where you can apply these guidelines. Then create content that can be presented in different ways. For example, simpler layout without losing information or structure. If you have observed, just try to open some of the web pages. Okay, so some of the web page, when you just try to zoom it, the content also parallelly it will just adjust to the screen size, and also the text will be zoomed. Okay, it will increase the font size. But some of the web pages, if you have observed, so you will be unable to change the font size. Okay, your font means in terms of zoom I am telling. So that is how you need to make use of the advanced technology when you are designing the web pages. So it should not lose the data. When you are doing all this, it should not lose either the meaning or should not be any change in the data, whatever it is presented. So make all functionality available from a keyboard. Okay, whatever the functionality you are going to apply, it should be available or it can be entered through the keyboard. Provide ways to help users, okay, navigate, find the content, determine where they are. Okay, so this is different ways to help the users. Okay, normally when they log in, if they are very new to that, so you can just give some guidelines. Okay, some particular tab may tell how to do that particular task. Okay, either through images or some small video, like that you can just add, and you can make the users to get easily understand that particular information. Okay, these are the like common guidelines you need to follow when you are designing. You need to focus with respect to all possible type of users. Okay, you should not just according to your mindset you cannot design. So you need to think about all the users, their capabilities. Accordingly the web page should be designed. Okay, you will come to know when we move for the advanced methods used for implementing the web pages. So as and when you can just try to learn those things and you can add those functionality to your web pages. If I tell you to create table, if you have remembered the first table I have created, writing with a box, rows and columns. Okay, consider some data is entered, 1, 2. Okay, here some values are given. So here some age information, something it is given, and here it may be the phone number. Okay, something like this if you have created. So if it is a common user, how they will understand what is the information it is displaying here? It's very difficult. So for this you can add the some of the more information. Okay, so immediately nobody can understand this table. Okay, even yourself. So what is this table? So for this, what you can tell? So you can add users detail. Always try to use the caption. Okay, try to use the caption. So that is going to, you will be getting the heading for the table. And for each column in the table, try to add the header. Okay, what each column indicates. This is considered serial number. Okay, this is name of the person, age, phone number. Okay, so try to use the heading using th tag. This is caption. So like this, even you can add the footer. There are so many tags we have discussed with respect to the table. Okay, so you just make it more understandable. Whatever the data it is presented, information, so that everybody can understand. Describe the table contents using caption. Okay, so for what it is maintained, this table. So you should give the caption. Connect the cells with a textual description in the header. Okay, whatever the data it is entered. See, this is a small table. So if it is having more number of columns, then it will be very difficult to understand that particular table. So you try to add the headers to that table so that easily they can understand the information that is presented in the table. So this is how you can make it accessible. Okay, along with these guidelines, so you have to give the very clear information. Maybe if you have access to many of the website, so easily you can understand what data they are presenting, and easily you can just work with those web pages. Okay, so it should not be the complex to understand. And also use legend. What is label? The first class table structure we have used. Okay, can you see field set? So it is going to group the whatever the input for fields or whatever the form elements you are going to add. It is going to just create a group. Can you see here? There is a light color, gray color box. Okay, so that is going to group the form elements. And you can just see it's so clear that it is like all these elements related to some particular information. Okay, and also you can, for this field set box, you can give the caption. Okay, here they have given details. So that is done using legend. So these are all the common practice you need to do when you are designing the and give the label name. So I think in many of the code directly I have written, don't do that. So use the label tags followed by the input type. Okay, so like this you need to add the all possible information so that the user can easily understand it. So form in this chapter already made use of this field set, legend, label elements which provide a connection between input elements in the form and their actual meaning, and also it is going to give the meaning between the input elements. Okay, input elements in the form and their actual meaning. That means what exactly it is going to happen is semantic. That means the meaning of that it is going to change. So syntax and semantics provides connection between the elements, between the input elements in the form and their actual meaning. So whenever if you are using these form elements, okay, you can connect these form elements along with the input elements. You can just connect these input element, input type, that is text box or some other input elements, you can just connect it. So how to connect it? Just you need to give the name. Okay, if it is label, that also you can just connect to the input elements. So how we have one example, you can just observe. I have a label tag. Okay, and here there is a for title. Okay, so now this whatever the for, what happens if I use for? I need to check. So what is this for? Just a minute. But here I'll keep this pending. Okay, I will just tell how you can make use of these, how you can connect these form elements along with the input. So now whatever the name it is given in the label, so you can just use as an ID for the input type. Okay, if you use this, what happens is, so whenever if you are trying to click on this label, it is going to highlight this input element. That means you are giving a relation between these two elements. Okay, giving relation between these two elements. Similarly, you can just observe I have a label here, country. When you click on this label, okay, it will highlight the wherever this particular ID, this name is used as a ID in the input element. Okay, it is going to highlight that particular text box. So indicating, so there is a relation between this label and this element. This is how you can associate the labels and input elements. Let me just show you how it can be done. I will just run this code. Okay, it is simple code. There is nothing added. Only thing is this. Just find out what is the meaning of what exactly happens if you use for label for attribute. ID, it is associated with input type radio. Just see what is the output I am going to get. I think everybody able to see the screen now. I made it full screen visible. Okay. So what I told. So this is how you can relate the label and input type. Okay. So for that, how to check how the output is going to differ. Okay. So if you just click on that particular label, so it is going to select that input. If it is a radio button, if it is a text box, it will highlight that text box. Okay, maybe in our code we have a text box. Let me just check it. If I don't use this, is it going to give any difference? ID also, will just remove it. So this is, you already know, name and just save it. See, you can use this online compiler. W3C editor also can be used if you want to use online. Okay. So now I will just run the code. Can you see? It is not selecting. When I click on the label, there is no changes in the input type. Okay. You just observe. I'm clicking on female. This radio button will get selected. Can you see? It is highlighting the input element. But when you're specifying without for, so that means there is no relation between this input type and the label. Are you getting? So when you want to give a relation between this label and the input type, you need to use the for. You can just observe the first one is not given. The second one, the female, the option is given. That is for. It is just acting as an ID to the label. And the same thing, your same ID name you are specifying for the input type. And accordingly, so it is going to select it. Okay, so this is how it works. So let me just go through the example, whatever I told. Okay. So what is the program? Form 1. This is also form 1. Okay. So now can you see, if I click on country, it is going to highlight this input. Okay. That is when you give the relation between the form and the label and control elements. So if I remove this, or you just don't give this ID to the input type. This one where I copied. Okay. We'll just remove with respect to Can you see? No changes. It is not highlighting the input element. Okay, that's so simple. So like that you should able to use this type of additional information when you are designing the web pages, so that the accessibility becomes easier. Okay, so it's very simple, you can understand easily. So next we'll move on to the small topic called micro formats. So I want anyone to I will just explain what is micro format. I want anyone to just execute some programs on this. So if anybody is interested to explore, just raise your hand. Otherwise, I will tell the name. Okay, by that time you think. I will just explain what is this micro formats. So the web has millions of pages in it. So yet despite of incredible variety, there is a surprising amount of similar information from site to site. Okay, so you can just observe all different websites. There are some common information displayed in all the web pages. Yes, no? Common information. Okay, about us, contact us. Okay, search options. So these are all common information where every website will be having. Okay. So in such cases, so how we can make use of these common formats? Okay. So the most site have same type of contact us pages. So similarly, many sites contain calendar of upcoming events or information about the product news. Okay, news. If you take news, it is not going to change. Maybe it is if it is included in multiple websites. So how you can utilize that part of the code and add it to your website? Okay, it's possible. For that, you have to use the technique called micro formats using a separate the special tag called hcard. So we'll discuss that hcard in detail. So here the idea behind micro formats is that, okay, what is the reason we are going for micro formats? Okay, in the exam they may ask write a note on micro formats for 5 to 6 marks. Okay, just you have to explain and you have to give the simple example. So here what is the idea behind this micro format is that this type of common information were tagged in similar ways. Okay, only the information it is going to be different. The contact us, maybe the information, the values are going to be changed, but it is the format is same. Then automated tool would be able to gather and transform it. Okay, so we can have a automated tool. It can just take that format from the other web page and it can be included into your page. So a micro format is a small pattern of HTML markup and attributes to represent common block of information such as people, event, news, stories, that the information in them can be extracted and indexed by software agents. So one of the most common format is hcard. So how it can be achieved, the common information, how it can be extracted and it can be added is using hcard tag, which is used to semantically mark up the contact information of a person. So contact information, it is just a simple example we have taken where this information is common in all the web pages. So how it can be done? It is not only the contact information, it can be some other information also. You can just observe. So micro format information for H news, if it is news related information, if it is about the person details, so then hcard can be used. Then website, aggregate all the H news information from different website. Okay, so this H news tag, it is going to get all possible information from different website and this can be used as a the tool for your website. It will just gather from the other website and it can be displayed in your web page. Similarly, for person information, okay, report aggregate all hcard information from different website. It is going to gather the person details from different websites and that can be utilized to display in your web pages. So what is the format, normal format you are going to use? This is for a visiting card, not visiting card. This is about the contact us person. Okay, contact us that is person details that can be specified. So here what you have to use is you have to go with the uh, class called vCard, visiting card. This is called visiting card, creating micro format of visiting card. You can just observe these are the codes we have already used. So when you run this code, you will be just getting the information about that person and how exactly this